Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is All Things Thursday and I've got a bunch of things today. First of all, I got some books in. This one here, which is called The Holly Jolly Christmas. It's a black, what is it called? They have the blackriverart.com. This is the very first Black River art book that I've ever had. It was sent to me as a gift from one of my followers. So thank you very much. The request was to do a buddy color out of it. So absolutely, we will do that. And it's just absolutely adorable. Lots of really cute little pictures. Of course, this is pictures done through Shutterstock, as the same with Rachel Minsk. They go through the same Shutterstock company to get the art for their books. Most of their books do state that it is Shutterstock art. This one does not for some reason. I'm not sure why. A friend of mine buys their books, and she showed me the panel first page of her book, and it's not the same as the company page in this book. So I don't know. I don't know if they've changed their page or not. But it's just absolutely adorable. It looks like there's some two sets of pictures in here, because this one here is at the front. No. Yeah, it looks like there's two sets of pictures because I've already come across those ones. So it looks like there's two sets of pictures in here. So there's a duplication. I love the piggy. It's just so cute. So yeah, absolutely wonderful book. Absolutely adorable. And of course, we will do a buddy color in this book as soon as you pick a picture. All right, so that was the first one that I had come in. And then I fell into the rabbit hole of get buy three get one buy three get them for the price of two. So basically buy two get one free. I bought three books and I'm really not very fond of the first two. And it's just not my style. So I'm not going to show those to you. I'm going to keep them as a surprise because I am going to keep them and use them as a part of the Christmas giveaway because I do know a lot of people really enjoy the artwork in them. And of course, I would rather they go to somebody that's going to enjoy the artwork in them than keep them myself and or send them back, because if I send them back to Amazon, they'll probably just end up getting destroyed. So I did keep one of the buy two get one free, and that was the Debbie McComber's Very Merry Christmas coloring book. And this is just a really cute, very large book. The paper in this book is wonderful, and it's got some wonderful little sayings on the opposing pages from different books that she has written. Like this one here says, Christmas has always been my favorite holiday. Mrs. Miracle commented, which is a Mrs. Miracle Christmas. And then we've got Merry and Bright here, and then, a bit from Merry and Bright. This one's from Alaskan Holiday. Another one from Merry and Bright. This one's from Dear Santa. So it has little bits of information or little bits of the story from the different books that she has written, which is really kind of cute. This one's from Jingle All the Way. The puppy. This looks like my puppy. course, the tree. But yeah, it's a really nice. The cards, the pages in here are about an 80-pound cardstock, so they're pretty good. Still would make sure that you put something behind it if you're going to use markers. It might be good for watercolor, but definitely give it a test on a test page first. Yeah, it's just absolutely adorable. Absolutely love it. And of course I will be coloring in this one for Christmas. For December I'm going to do a feature artist, and I will be coloring mostly her things, but I do have a couple of other things that are going on as well, so we will see how that goes. Sometimes I'll pick a feature artist and it won't turn out that way because I'll end up with 6 billion other things that I want to do. So, oh, and now I find an entire, holiday dinner all laid out. Of course, it is once again a Christmas dinner, so oh, little puppies. Lots of little puppies in their sweaters. Love it. Ooh, the Christmas tree farm. Not once have I ever found a tree in the Christmas tree farm that was already decorated. Lots of cool stuff. Spices and carolers. Oh, and of course the nutcrackers. And the gnomes. It's got gnomes. Awesome. And St. Nick. The angel at the top of the tree. And this book is really large. It's about the same size as a Joanna Basford book. So definitely hard to scan. All the presents under the tree. The nativity scene. Santa up on the roof. Dropping presents everywhere. Like, really, who's going to step on those Lego? Some little boy is not getting his Lego. Christmas cards. In the mail. Alright. So just a really quick little flip through. If you want a more extensive flip through, definitely let me know. And I will do a heavier flip through. There are 6 different artists, illustrators that have drawn the pictures. Yvonne Gilbert, Anne Hard, Mariko Jesse, Ben Perini, Craig Phillips, and Monica Rowe. So, yeah. And of course, all of their information is in the back of the book. Absolutely fantastic book. Well put together. And the pages are just fantastic. The paper in it is really, really nice. Now, for the last book that I bought full, it is on my deals of the day. This book, it's called Time Traveler, and it is currently, I think, 28% off, and it's gorgeous. So I'll do a quick flip through. It comes with this little book here. Excuse the train, which shows you how the artist colored the pages, which has me extremely terrified of the book because I can't do that. Absolutely gorgeous pictures, just beautifully colored, and I will try to do it some justice. I don't know if I will be able to now that I've seen the artist paintings. But these are all the pictures that are in the book. Of course, the book is line art, not grayscale, so you'll have to guess. And it's very, very faint um, lines as well. So I'll go through the rest of these very quickly here. And then I'll do a very quick flip through of the book itself. I just love this one. It's just so soft and so pretty. This one's gorgeous as well. And so is this one. They're all just gorgeous. Like, look at the colors in that. And the soft pastel colors. It's just, this book is, very pastel, except for some of the darker images are very dark. Like this one here. She's absolutely gorgeous, but her gown and everything else around her is definitely a black and white type of theme. Where this one here, she's very in your face, loud, black and red colors. And then we get back to our really soft, flowing pictures. Little foxes. This is so interesting. It just tells a huge story as it goes. It's just wonderful. Okay, and of course that's the front page cover there. Alright, so the front cover is extendable. So it tells you everything you need to know about the book in Chinese, of course. And the cover does the paste on the cover does seem to be coming apart, which I'm not too worried about because it doesn't seem to be affecting the pages at all. So I'm going to fold this. Yeah, that gets folded like that. There we go. So, of course, the front page. And then the page that goes through and tells you what is in the book. So it's a very large coverage of all of the different pictures. And then on this page here, and if I had a translator app, I'd be able to translate a little bit better, but I'm quite sure that once I translate it, I can understand what's going on in the picture a little bit more. But this one here is, let's see, is this picture here. So as you can see, it's not heavy dark lines, but it's still outlined quite nice. I do apologize. I'm just sneeze. It was a little bit more sudden. I hate sudden sneezes. Move this back a little bit so I can straighten this. There, that's better. The paper in this is much thinner. It's definitely not a cardstock. It's about the thickness and the smoothness of Christine Caron's paper. Maybe a little bit smoother. If you want to use markers in here, of course, make sure you put paper behind it so that it absorbs the ink, because it will flow through. I just love the artwork in it. I have been suddenly attracted a lot more to these Asian themed books. Not quite sure why. Maybe because I find them challenging. I've gotten too comfortable with people lately. I think I'm going to have to step away from people for a little bit and try to do things with a little bit more detail, a little bit more stuff in them, not just um, people. Such a pretty picture. It's wonderful, wonderful artwork. And I know there's no way in forever that I will make this as pretty as the pictures that are the artist did, but I will do my best. I will try. Can't guarantee it will happen, but I'll try. All right. Just absolutely gorgeous work. And there's a page. Stick to another page. There we go. So cool. That's that fox one with the... I don't know the name of it. And this one is like little bunnies. And a great big huge bunny. And this is that one that I showed you that's so peachy and so light. It's just gorgeous. All the pictures are just absolutely phenomenal. And I haven't been buying, excuse me, I haven't been buying a lot of books lately because I have so many books that I haven't even touched yet. And I really need to start doing some work in them because, like I said, I haven't even touched them. And I want to because they're gorgeous and I want to color in them all. Just wonderful, wonderful artwork. And of course, this is the front cover and the final page. Okay, and that one is called Time Traveler. And once again, it is on sale. This one here is also on sale. And it is a part of the buy two, get one free. 3 for the price of 2. Um, and this one here was a gift, which is fantastic. And I thank you so much for sending that. It is just the sweetest thing. All right, now for some more stuff. Now, Arteza had a sale, and Arteza gets me in trouble when they have sales. So I have been wanting the brush markers from Arteza for a while now, but they're so expensive. Well, they had a sale, so I bought the skin tones. So this is 36 premium skin tones. Let's see if I can open it. Open. There we go. So there's 36 premium skin tones there. And these are the brush and medium chisel nib. Like the chisel nib isn't as wide as the other chisel nib. And of course the brush nib. So that's the skin tone set. Well, the sets were all, except for 2 of them, on sale for $34, something like that, $35. So I bought the skin tone set and I bought the gray set because you always need grays. So I bought the gray set, the skin tone set, and the floral tones set because they were all on sale. The Art Deco and the other one with all the colors in them, the 2 heavy colored ones weren't on sale, so I didn't buy them. But the 12 sets were. So I've got the classic tones and the pastel tones as well. All of these are brush nibs and everything else, and I have a couple of issues with them, which I will of course discuss tomorrow on Fun Stuff Friday. I will go through and swatch them all and show you what I found. So that is the last thing that I have in, of course. So the Arteza um, brush nib markers. I do believe they're still on sale on Arteza's website. On Amazon, they have the regular ones on sale right now because they're trying to clear stock. So, on their website, take a look and see if they still have the 36 sets on. And of course, we will go through these lovely sets tomorrow. Ay, goodness. All right, now for the hug of the day. So today is hug number 84, I do believe. Let's see. Yeah, hug number 84. And we have a queen and a princess. Queen and a princess hug. And of course it's next to the ochre hug, so yeah. Let's see if I can get this to... There we go. I'll switch you over to the close-up camera so you can see what I'm doing. Alrighty. And of course we are going to be using our Zenoscope, or not Zenoscope, Zenacolor colored pencils, which are our featured pencil for the week. So let's start with some skin tones here. I'm going to start with some apricot. So I hope you all enjoyed having Delane visit yesterday and went out and fulfilled all of your color pocket necessities. Again, congratulations to the 2 winners. I will be sending that out very shortly. If not this weekend, the start of next week. So I'm just putting down a thin layer of the apricot. And then we're going to put down a little bit of... Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Medium purple. Just at her shadow areas. Of course, on Sunday, or not Sunday, Saturday, for our color and chat, we will be starting a new picture, which will be cool. New pictures are always fun. All right. And then we're going to take... I'm going to clear my throat because it's tickling. So hold on a second. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Alrighty. Hopefully that helped. It's a little bit hot, so it's not helping as much as I'd like it to. Alright, now we're going to take some peach puff. And we're just going to extend that shadow area. like so. Just making sure I get all those shadows in. I will have to take a look and deal with it when I get down there, because I know that her hand is here somewhere. I think it's right here. But it's hidden with her hair, so I think that's her hand. Just covering up those small areas with the darker tone. Just going over it gently with the apricot. Which is the first tone we started with. Alright, now we're going to go in with some magenta on their lips. And then we're going to go in with some amber. I'm going to sharpen this. I'm going to do her dress in yellows and the queen's dress in pinks, I think. Or blues, maybe some blues. Yeah, maybe some blues. So I'm going to do the shadow areas in this amber color. Like so. As well as her little shoes. Do them a nice yellow too. And then we're going to go over it with yellow. We're just going to leave that little pinafore area down there. And we're going to do a little bit of gray on it. So I need a light gray, because I'm going to do that all in white. So we're going to take some light gray and we're going to do those shadow areas. On the outside of the, and then we're going to take the white. Like that. Same with up here. Do this in white. Alright, now for her hair. use khaki. For the light tone in her hair. Oh, that's not her hair. It's colored Mama's dress. So that's not hair. There we go. Alright. And then we're going to take a deeper brown. Let's see this one. No, that's too red. So we're going to take some coffee and we're going to do the shadow areas and the deep areas of her hair. Just following the artist's squiggles, because unfortunately there's just not enough there to do much of anything else. So we just follow the artist's squiggles. And then we're going to do some gold on the crown. And I'm just going to color in the whole thing with the gold. And then we'll come back through with some gel pen and add some sparkle to that. Like so. Alright, so for Mama's hair, we're going to start off with a little bit of coconut brown. We're going to make sure that we get all of her curls. It doesn't matter if she's a queen or not, she's still Mama. I just did it again. I keep on coloring that sleeve as hair. This is going to make it very difficult to do this sleeve as blue. I'm just filling that in. Okay, and then we're going to take the coffee brown again. Actually, yeah, coffee. And give it a good sharpen. Of course, under her crown, make that all nice and dark. And then her hair, there's a little bit more there, so we can do a little bit of flicking, but not a lot. So down here I'm just doing little squiggles, making sure I get the darkest of areas dark. I'm just doing little squiggles for her hair because she has curls. Getting that shadow area from her arm there. There we go. And there's her hair. Now we're going to work on her dress. I'm going to start off with deep sky blue. And we're just going to start in with those shadow areas. Hopefully you can all see what I'm doing. I'm not completely blocking everybody. Alright. Erase that so much, it's having some issues. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Just getting those shadows in there. Making sure we get those darker areas. Okay, almost done. So I'm doing this panel a little bit darker because it's inset. Same with this panel over here, it's going to be a little bit inset as well. So I'm going heavier at the edge and at the pleat, but doing the rest of it fairly light. So anywhere that I'm extending that shadowy area a bit, I'm doing so lightly so that I have something to blend into. And of course it'll all get smoothed out with the next color, so not too concerned about that. Okay. Now we're going to take a light blue. So this is powder blue. And we're going to blend that in. And I'm just doing a blanket color of it because I'm going to go over it again. And then I'm going to go over it with white to give that lighter effect. Now typically you would do this, you could do this first, you could do the light tone first and then do your dark over top of it and then blend it all with white to tone it down. But now I'm just going through with a little bit heavier of a hand and blending all of that color together. Now that I've introduced it, I can blend it. Basically putting down that light coat is just like meeting your neighbors. Just putting it out there so that you can introduce it. And I'm still just using the side of the pencil. I'm not using any heavy direct force on the pencil. I'm putting some pressure on the side of the pencil so that it will lay down a heavy coat of the color. But I'm not putting any direct lines on the page like I will up here because I need to see, I've torn the page a little bit there. Need to introduce that tone. And once again, I'm not going to color the edges. Of her dress here. There's a shaft of hair there. Needs to be colored. I thought that was hair. There we go. Alright. Do apologize. The train is about to go through. And he's being loud today. Alright, now I'm going over with the white. And just blending it in. Leaving that white tone. Dulling down that light blue and the dark blue. Just because we want it to look a little gauzy. So in order to get that effect, you just need to tone it down a little bit. And of course, since she is the queen, normally it's depends upon where she is, of course. But usually they wear red. But I didn't want to put red. So just blending all that dark in. My goodness, he is noisy today. I'll leave that sleeve alone. Alright. And then once again, we're going to take that gold and we're going to do her crown. And I'm just going to base coat the entire thing and then we'll add some gel pen. Okay, and then we're going to do her slipper down here in some silver. Then we're going to take the black. We're just going to put in a little bit of black in the shadow areas here. That. And like that. And then we're going to take our silver. And we're going to turn the page a little bit so that I can go in the right direction. Like so. So of course tomorrow is Fun Stuff Friday. I would also like to say, since it is Veterans Day, thank you very much for all of our veterans for your service. Thank you very much for all of my family that are veterans for your service. It is a difficult thing to do and to choose to do because it is no longer mandated. You are making a choice to protect your country, and that is a difficult choice to make. And I appreciate you. For all of this service, men and women of our military. You are all needed and greatly appreciated. Okay, and then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do her collar in the silver as well. Same with over here for her cuff of her dress, also in the silver. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our handy dandy gel pens, maybe, if we can get past our big boxes of other stuff. So I'm going to grab red. I know I've got a couple of them here. It's more pink. That's a good red. Grab a red, and we're just going to fill in this area here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And then we're going to grab a little bit of blue. Do the wave type things here. Just reminds me of waves. Don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it reminds me of. And the waves here on her little crown too, like so. And then we are going to grab some yellow. Well, it's a gold color. And we're just going to put a little bit of sparkle on the tip of the crown and down here on the base of the crown. Do these areas here and down here. And up here. Get all those done. Give her some glitter. And then we're going to take a little bit more of a lighter blue. Want this one, I think. No. I think that's too much of a pastel. This one will do. And we're going to put some buttons on her dress there. Or jewels, or whatever you want to call them. And maybe we'll do her shoes in the blue. Like that. Alright, so there is our hug all finished up. We have the princess and the queen, the sleeping princess and the queen, all done up, ready for bed, because it's bedtime, obviously. I think I'm just going to put a little bit more red on the queen's lips. The princess, it's okay if they're a little pink, but I think the queen needs a little bit more of an adult color there. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to switch you over to the main camera here. And we're going to take a look at it and of course put our name and our number and our date on it. And there we have it. So this is hug number 84. Just going to check and make sure. Yes. November 11th. 2021. Hug number 84. So we have gone through 84 of the 101 hugs. So there is our little princess and our queen. And of course you can't see the sparkle, but I can. I don't know. There you go. You can see the sparkle there. So her crown is all sparkly. All right, guys. Of course, tomorrow we will be doing a review, well, a first impressions of the Arteza markers that I've got in. And if you have any interest in seeing any of the books that I've received in a full flip through, leave me a comment in the comment section below of what book you would like to see flipped through, and I will gladly do a flip through of it beyond what I already did today. Yeah, other than that, guys, of course, have a wonderful holiday if you are on holidays for today. Thank you very much to our veterans once again for your service. I appreciate it, and I am humbled to know some of you. Other than that, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button. The best way to support the channel, of course, is to hit that like button and leave me a comment. If you do decide that you would like to financially support the channel, you can definitely do so by hitting that join button below the video. It tells you all different things that are available per tier of the membership, all the different perks that are available for you. Yeah, other than that, guys, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until tomorrow, bye bye for now.